The oil is warm in your cupped palm. You work it into your left forearm slowly, the way you have worked it in 1,000 mornings before this one. The smell is vegetal, faintly fermented, threaded with the wood smoke that heated the clay dish. You are 19 years old. The sun has not risen over Knossos. Your hands are steady. This is you, a bull leaper of Knossos, on a spring afternoon in 1500 BC. By the time the sun sets, a young man of your troop will be dead of a horn through the abdomen. You will have completed your second sequence over the bull's back. You will sleep with your thighs seizing beyond straightening. Everything you have been told about this day is incomplete. Today, we decode the real one. The island of Crete lies in the eastern Mediterranean, south of the Greek mainland. Its north coast, in what is today Iraklio Prefecture, holds the Palace of Knossos. The palace is over 1,000 rooms, 4 stories in places, gypsum block and painted plaster, around a central court of packed earth. It is the largest single structure in the Bronze Age Aegean. The year is 1500 BC, the peak of the Neopalatial period. In a generation, the volcano at Thera will erupt and the palace system will begin to fall. No one at Knossos knows this yet. For 4.5 centuries, teams of leapers have vaulted over live bulls in the central courts of Knossos, Aia Triada, and Zakros, from 1900 to 1450 BC without break, without decline. On the antechamber wall, painters recorded a single moment of the ritual. 3 figures, one grasping the horns, one arched over the animal's back, one waiting to catch. This fresco, mislabeled the Toreador by Arthur Evans in 1900, is the clearest surviving record of what these teams did. Minoan painters worked in a strict convention. Female figures painted pale, male figures painted dark. In the Toreador Fresco and in dozens of seal stones from across Crete, the pale bodies and the dark bodies wear the same costume. They take the same position, hold the same role. And in a chamber off the central court, you are oiling your forearms for the second time this morning. The silver clasp is already set in your hair. You wake before the light. The stone floor of your chamber holds the cold of the night, and your bare feet meet it as you stand. The bathwater in the adjoining room is warm and scented with oil. You wash without hurry. The oil smells of crushed almond and something resinous. You dress, a fitted bodice, low and open at the chest, a loincloth cut short for the vault, long hair pulled back and set with the silver clasp. The clasp is cool against your scalp and heavier than it looks. You leave your chamber and walk the antechamber corridor toward the assembly room. Braziers stand at intervals along the wall, burning laurel and a resin from the eastern trade. The walls on both sides are painted with the lepers who came before you. Some are shown in mid-leap, hands to horns. Some are shown being carried out on the shoulders of teammates. Above each figure runs a line of painted script. You cannot read it. No one alive can read it. The signs are linear A, and the language behind them will remain undeciphered for the next 35 centuries. You walk past them without looking. You have walked past them 1,000 times. You pass your brother in the corridor. His name is Amnisos, and he is a scribe of the palace archive. He carries a stack of clay tablets bound in a cloth against his hip. You nod as you cross. You do not speak. Your parents live at the estate at Phaistos and come to the palace twice a year. Amnisos is your family in this building. In the antechamber, your team is already assembling. 2 women, 2 men, and in the holding pen behind the wall, a bull that has not been fed in 3 days is starting to bellow. Midday. The sound comes across the courtyard from the holding pen. The bull's breath. Heavy, wet, intermittent. It stops. It starts. It stops again. In the antechamber, no one comments on it. The team is 4. 2 women, 2 men. 4 positions, 3 rounds. You are position 2, the vaulter, the one who runs at the bull, grasps both horns, and rides the toss into a handstand on the back of the animal, then rolls off backward into the arms of position 3. You rehearse the grip on the wooden practice frame set in the corner of the room. Hands to horns, weight forward, elbows soft. You do it 4 times. The oil on your forearms has dried into a thin sheen. The wooden horns of the practice frame no longer take grip on the first try. You reach up and tighten the silver clasp at the back of your head. It is snug. It will stay. Position 3 today is Knossos, 22 years old, taller than you, stronger through the shoulders than the previous catcher you trained with. This is his 4th performance in the central court. You have performed alongside him for 6 months. He is confident this morning. He does not stretch as long as you do. He stands near the door with position 1, and they speak quietly, and you cannot hear what they say. The bull's breath cuts through the wall again. Heavy, wet, longer this time. The exhale drags. Someone in the antechamber turns their head toward the sound and then away. You take your place at the practice frame for the 5th time. The signal comes from the court. The bull is being released into the ring. It is time. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you where the myth of Theseus and the labyrinth actually came from. Not from a poet's imagination, from a real building, a real ritual, and what you are about to watch this woman do next. The half-man, half-bull monster is a distorted memory of one afternoon like this one. Subscribe to Decoded by Jack. Stay with me. The signal comes. The bull enters the court. It is a large animal, dun-colored, horns swept forward and polished by the handlers. On the low walls, the spectators stand and do not speak. The ritual demands their silence. The first 3 leaps run clean. The 4th leap is yours. You run at the bull. Your hands close on the horns, and the animal's head jerks upward. You go with the motion. Feet leave the ground. Your body arcs. The silver clasp at the back of your head catches the sun. Handstand on the packed shoulders. 1 breath. Roll off backward. Knossos' hands catch you at the ribs. He sets you down. His grip is confident. You feel the sand under your feet again. You take your place at the edge of the court to watch. Knossos moves to position for the 5th leap. He does not stretch. He does not shake out his hands. He grips half a beat late. His hands close on the horns after the bull's head has already begun its rise. The left horn catches him low in the abdomen. He does not make a sound. You are still. The clasp at the back of your head has not moved. The performance does not stop. Your teammates around you do not move toward him. That is not what happens here. 2 attendants come from the north corridor and lift him under the shoulders and knees. The ritual continues. Your 2nd sequence remains. You run at the bull, hands to horns, toss, handstand, roll. You land on packed earth and you hear your own breath before you hear anything else. You are aware of a taste in your mouth. You have bitten your tongue at the moment of the toss. Blood, sand kicked up by the animal. You swallow. Knossos is carried out through the north corridor. The performance is not stopped. 2 more leaps remain in the day. Your chamber, the woven mat. You lower yourself onto it slowly, and your left thigh goes into spasm the moment your weight settles. The muscle locks. You cannot straighten the leg. Your right hip is fixed at an angle. You lie back and wait for the body to release what it can release. The oil from the morning has dried into your skin. The sand of the court is in it. Under your fingernails, there is dark grit. You do not wash yet. In the great hall, the ritual meal is set. Watered wine, bread, olives, a dish of fish cooked in oil and herbs. You eat little, the wine is cool. The teammates around you eat little as well. No one names Cadonius. His place at the low table is not filled. When you return to the shared chamber later, his mat will already be stripped and gone. Your brother comes to your door. Knossos does not enter. He sets a small clay cup of honey water on the threshold, and he looks at you, and he leaves. The honey water is still warm. You drink it slowly. You lie back down on the mat. Your hand reaches up and finds the silver clasp in your hair. You work it loose. You set it on the low table beside the mat. It catches what is left of the lamplight. That is the day. Now let me tell you what almost no one outside of Aegean archaeology knows about it. Decoded number 1. Both sexes leaped. Both sexes died. Here is what you were probably taught. Bronze Age Aegean women were confined to the domestic. Athletic and ritual life on ancient Crete belonged to men. None of that is true. The Toreador Fresco from Knossos, the frescoes from Agia Triada, dozens of seal stones from across Crete. They all show the same thing, teams of leapers, and the teams include women. Minoan painters followed a rigid convention. Female skin, pale, male skin, dark. The pale bodies and the dark bodies wear the same costume, take the same position, hold the same role. Skeletal analysis of late Minoan burials backs up the frescoes. Crushed ribs, horn wounds through the abdomen, spinal fractures in male skeletons and female skeletons alike. Nano Marinatos and John Younger have documented the pattern. The Minoan palace culture organized women as ritual athletes alongside men. 23 centuries before the modern Women's Olympics began. Decoded number 2. This ritual was the opposite of bullfighting. Popular version. The Spanish bullfight is the ancient Mediterranean's original ritual encounter between human and bull. Here is what the archaeology says. The Minoan bull leaping tradition, dated by John Younger to roughly 1900 to 1450 BC, is documented at Knossos, at Agia Triada, at Zakros, 4.5 centuries. The Spanish corrida, in its modern ritual form, dates to the 18th century. Between them, more than 3,000 years. The two practices are opposites. In the Minoan ritual, the bull is not wounded. The bull is not killed. The human demonstrates skill by moving with the animal's momentum. The bull is not opponent. The bull is co-performer. In the Spanish corrida, the bull is stabbed, weakened, and finally killed. The performance is the animal's slow death. Two Mediterranean practices, one human, one bull, separated by 3,000 years, one the ethical inverse of the other. Decoded number 3. This is where the Minotaur actually came from. Here is where it gets strange. You already know the story. The Athenian hero Theseus, the Labyrinth, the half-man, half-bull monster. But the story did not begin with a poet. It began with a real building. The Palace of Knossos held over 1,000 interconnected rooms across multiple stories. To anyone unfamiliar with it, the palace was a labyrinth. The word labyrinth comes from Labris. The Labris was the double axe, the Minoan sacred symbol carved throughout the palace. Add the bull ritual in the central court. Add the Greek memory of a fallen Cretan sea empire. Now imagine a Greek visitor at the ruins around 800 BC, 400 years after the palace fell. He walks through a labyrinth. He sees evidence of bull ritual. He hears memory of a fallen thalassocracy. Out of that, he builds a story about a monster. Kathy Gear's book Knossos and the Prophets of Modernism traces this. The Minotaur is not fiction. He is a distorted memory of what this woman did today. You lie back, your eyes close. The oil lamp on the low table is low, and the flame is smaller than it was an hour ago. The silver clasp sits where you set it. It catches what light is left. Your hand rests near it, palm up, fingers slightly curled. The oil from the morning is dried into your skin. The sand of the court is still in it. Under your nails, the dark grit remains. The pain in your thighs has not gone. It has settled into a lower register that will still be there when you wake. Somewhere in the palace, in a room you do not enter, Kydonios is being prepared for burial by people who are not you. The lamp dims. 35 centuries from now, her name will be on no wall. Kydonios' name will be on no wall. The clasp will be dust. The palace will be ruin. A visiting Greek will walk through the labyrinthine remains 400 years after her death. He will build a story about a monster, half man and half bull, to explain what he sees. That story will outlive her by 3,000 years. She was one of many. Both bodies faced the horns.